my goodness, coming in hot. Welcome back, world. This is the Shadow Nation, America's place for strange. Live from the Creative Zombie Studios, we're your host, Ghostman and Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter.
I can't take it anymore.
You can't take the pressure.
I can't, and all the bad news, and I'm crying in my beer over here, and it's
It's been a lot. Special thanks to all our homes, all our sponsors, Stitcher, Smart Radio, Spreaker. The world's listening. They want to know, are you? I do too. So Spreaker.com, check them out. Planet Paranormal, Geeky Antics Network, Series Geek, Silly Fun, GeekyAntics.net. Of course, our friends at Attentive Home Healthcare, AttentiveHHC.com, and the SWL Project. Give, share, Nathan, everybody needs.
a little love.
The SWLproject.org. Welcome back, Shadowtonians, to the one, the only, the mystifying, the spooky, the Shadow Nation. You like that?
I like that. I'm so grateful, and I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the Academy for giving us this award. And that's
I'm boycotting
Oscars.
you, man. I used to watch the Emmys. Is it the Emmys, Grammys? What is
it's
it?
the Oscars.
Okay,
It's the Oscars.
Same thing.
It's the movies.
Yeah.
This is the movies.
I don't know, man. I love the movies and everything. I just don't.
There's too many shows now. Everybody has their own frickin'. Can I say frickin'? Yeah, I can say
You can
frickin'.
say
That's allowed.
frickin',
Okay.
yeah.
I'm checking the list. I'm allowed to say that.
Yeah.
It's everybody has their own award ceremony now. They don't like how one group does it, so they put on their own. And if you don't like it, you go over to England, and they have 3 or 4 of them over there. And
Yeah.
you know what? It's just too much.
But
too
we're
much.
entertainers, bro. They're entertainers. I used to listen to it because I love the speeches. Thanks to everybody, the hard work that got us here. But now it's mostly political speeches. I don't want to do it no more, man. I don't watch CNN and Fox
We'll
News.
throw a few jokes here and there out, or
Yeah.
we'll say, I like that about somebody that nobody else likes, just because it pisses everybody off when we say it. But
Ding ding.
But we don't get into it. It's that's not what we're here for. If people wanted to hear politics, they're not going to come to this show.
That's
they're
right.
going to go to a show with people who are going to talk politics.
We don't do that. But we do.
And how did we come onto this? Because of the Oscars? Oh my God! Did I really do that? Did I draw us into this already?
When did you draw us into it?
I gotta apologize, folks, if I start coughing into the mic. I had a cold this week, so by the end of I'm guessing by the end of the first segment, I'll sound like Wolfman Jack, and by the end of the second segment, I'll probably sound like Harvey Firestein.
Right.
So,
well, remember, folks, colds go away, but herpes never goes away. Anyway, without further ado, Nathan, tonight's guest. Yeah, tonight's guest, guys. Tonight's guest is an American actress, stunt woman, and contortionist, best known for her amazing work on such films as The Devil Inside, The Last Witch Hunter, Rings 2, and most recently for her smash hit role as Samara in the Hollywood hit Rings. Tonight, America's favorite foxy and spooky redhead, Miss Bonnie Morgan, in studio. Right here on the Shadow Nation with your host, Ghostman and Demon Hunter. I'm stoked. Bonnie Morgan is insane. We spoke to her on the phone last week.
We did.
Briefly.
Talk to her.
And she is so groovy. You want to talk about anybody down to earth. That's Bonnie.
And I have been watching every Bonnie Morgan video out there, Sean, and all I can say is I love her. I love her.
I love her,
and
too.
if I wasn't married, and if I was even close to being worthy of her,
she could have us both. Yeah, she could have us both.
Back off, man. She's mine.
No way. I seen her first. She was bent backwards, head between the legs over her head twisted like a pretzel on the playground, and I fell in love. What can I say? But, yeah, Bonnie, we can't wait to have you back on, sis. And she's on Twitter right now blowing it up, advertising for us, saying she's going to be here tonight. Yeah, so thanks, Bonnie, for that. But before you come on, dear, which we get our full half hour here to do our shtick. Yeah.
She's calling in, right? So we have until she calls in. That's what we have.
I don't know if she's calling in or coming in tonight. Yeah, whenever she calls in, that's when it'll be. But Nathan, big news today. Sad news from the world of Hollywood,
and it's
man.
why I'm crying into my beer, Sean.
Always. Every week there's some kind of news coming out of Hollywood. Something.
But today was particularly bad. I don't know if this for me is kind of like your. What was the Princess Leia death?
Yeah, Carrie Fisher
death.
Yeah.
For that, I realized how many people that hit, but for me, this was just equally as bad.
It was bad. It was bad.
Bill Paxton
Oh.
of Twister.
My God, man.
And that movie just affected me so much. I
Right.
wanted to go out and be a storm chaser. After that, I got to go on one of those like trips where you go out and ride with the storm chasers.
You had a man crush on Paxton. I know that.
Man, Paxton was everything he did. Everything from the time he was in Weird Science.
Yeah. God bless him.
Classic movie. But then he went on and was an Alien. Or Aliens, excuse me, Aliens.
Aliens.
Aliens. And then, just Twister, and then moving on, the TV shows he's done. Personally, one of my favorites that he did was the movie, or the HBO series where he played the fundamentalist Mormon.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Wives. Something wives, right? Or something faith. I forget, yeah.
And honestly, I've that one's just slipping my mind right now, but it will come back to me in a second, I'm sure.
Weird Science. How about a greasy pork sandwich served in a dirty ashtray, huh? That's what he said to his little brother.
That's right. That's and I'm crying, Sean. The thought
sad man.
of losing him at such a young age, 61 years old.
61.
And Big Love was the name.
Yeah, Big Love. Yeah.
That's it. Oh my gosh, it was just, he was fabulous in everything he did. And Judge, not to jump over him, but like Judge Wapner died today. Who didn't grow up with Judge Wapner?
I know. The People's Court.
The People's Court kind of got replaced by Judge Judy later on.
She never took over for Wapner. Man. Come on.
No. Wapner was the king of that, but Titanic. Think Titanic. Bill Paxton, Titanic. It's I
know
that was his career. Titanic. He was huge, and he was such a normal, nice, good guy. Oh man, sure.
It's a bummer. Hurts. It's a bummer. You never know, man.
It's kind of like, remember, you know what this is on par for me with?
What is it?
When the crocodile hunter died.
Yeah, that was big. Steve Irwin.
Irwin died. You and I were both
very upset.
We were both reporters for Ghostly Talk at the time, and I think we both did an episode together right at about the time that he passed. And boy, we just couldn't stop talking about Steve Irwin either, because that was a crusher.
No, we couldn't. That was a big one. Anyway, guys, everybody knows TMZ came out with that very sad news today. So rest in peace, Mr. Paxton. You will be missed, very much so. So, yeah.
And I'm drinking to your memory, Bill, and unfortunately, I'm drinking a really nasty beer, Sean. I don't like this beer.
Yeah. You know what, though? Joseph Wapner, Nathan, Judge Wapner from the People's Court, he died. He was 97, though.
Yeah.
I thought that was important to mention that. 61 and 97. That's two big differences there, man. Too big.
Big differences. And, it just, something like that happens, and all of a sudden you sit there and go, dude, I'm pushing 50.
Yeah.
It's
well, yeah, I'm right behind you. But everybody knows, also switching gears here, that Nathan and we've talked about it for years. We had the Extreme Paranormal on A&E Television, so we had our little short stint there with paranormal broadcasting or paranormal television. We've been broadcasting for years, but one of our colleagues, I guess you could say, that's went on with his show, Ghost Adventures, of course. I'm talking about Zach Baggins with the Haunted Museum coming soon, Nathan, in no less sunny Las Vegas, Nevada.
Well, isn't he from Nevada?
I have no idea about him.
Or something like that. I don't know.
Having a strange and perverse on display for everyone to see isn't a new concept. Absolutely not. But it is a moneymaker. From sideshows to Warrens collecting the haunted objects of their clients to Zaffas doing the same. It's a practice done for a long time. What is new in Zach Baggins, Nathan? His museum coming soon. I
don't know what's new with it.
Of course, we know him as the lead investigator from the Ghost Adventures crew. Let's see what's up there. Zach Baggins begins his jaunt into haunted items with his show Deadly Possessions, which also aired on the Travel Channel. Apparently, it's already on. There would sit in a room with the owner of the haunted object and blah, blah, blah. The museum begins... for the museum, Baggins purchased the Wengert Museum, will break the house into 30 rooms of oddities and haunted objects. Horror, That's the website, guys, ihorror.com. Found out that in December, Baggins had purchased Michael Jackson's makeup chair that he passed away in.
Really?
Yeah. There's no telling what else may end up on display there, Nathan. It's a haunted museum, of course. Everywhere they go is haunted. And, of course, you know, when you spend several $1 million, that place will be haunted, too. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. They also got Ed Gein's cauldron, made it home. Made a home there as well. I can't read tonight. It would seem many of the artifacts...
This is really going to hurt if we do the news like this, Sean.
I know. It says many of the deadly artifacts from their TV show Deadly Possessions will be in there, guys. So be sure to check that out if you're into the weird and strange. It seems to be definitely a revenue stream. So congratulations to the Baggins people. And that's smart thinking. That's your retirement there, pal. That's your retirement. Nathan, we have haunted and cursed artifacts all over our studio. We need to make some money off of it.
Yeah, we'll put together the Shadow Nation Ghostman and Demon Hunter Fund for haunted objects, for a home for haunted objects. That's what we'll do. We'll start a GoFundMe page, Sean.
Yeah.
To find homes for haunted objects.
Andrew,
this poor haunted statue has no home.
It doesn't.
And for just $29.95 a month for 2 years, you can help provide this statue with a home.
$19.95 a minute. Call now. For this haunted statue continues to cry. Crying angel statue.
Cry blood.
We do. Yeah. Tears of blood. No, but we do have lots of haunted stuff. I think everybody in this field usually does it, but especially people that have been so active in this community as we have been in the past. Yeah, anyway. Andrew Hart in our chat room. Thanks, Andrew. Says Baggins is from the Vegas area. Yeah. So you were right, Nathan. You were right, dear friend.
I thought so. You know, how often do you actually say those words to me, man?
What's that?
I'm right. I'm gonna savor them a little bit.
Never. Uh-oh. You guys hear that music? That funky beat. That means it's time for your Shadow Nation in the news.
In the news?
It's always fresh. It's always exciting, strange, and weird, and straight from the Shadow Vaults. And it starts right now. And there it is. Now, there it is. I watched Exorcist last night. That reminds me. That's it. So who's first up to bat tonight?
I don't know, sir. Who do you want to be first up to bat?
Well, I got a story on cue here.
Then you go ahead.
All right, guys. Here we go. This was sickening when I read this, Nathan, this week. Massive bumblebee tuna. Recall after 2 employees admit cooking a man and mixing him with a batch of tuna.
Oh,
is this sick or what, dude?
I eat tuna all the time.
This comes from...
I don't eat bumblebee, though, so I think I'm okay.
usefudleys.com, so I'm sure that's a credible site. But let's go on. Anyway, guys, on Monday, Bumblebee Foods and 2 employees were charged by Los Angeles prosecutors with violating safety regulations in the death of a worker who was cooked in an industrial oven with tons of tuna. Yeah. So you guys might have consumed this week the gentleman known as Jose Molina. Just in case you guys want to know, next time you go to the restroom, say thank you and goodbye to Mr. Molina. He was performing maintenance in a 35-foot-long oven at the company's Santa Fe Springs plant when coworkers loaded it with 12,000 pounds of canned tuna and turned it on. Temperatures reached 270 degrees during a 2-hour process to cook and sterilize the tuna. The body of Molina, 62, was found when the oven was opened. Ooh, so they found the body?
I guess so. I mean, that's not hot enough to cleave the meat from the bone, I guess. It
says the former safety manager. What the heck was he doing? Anyway, former safety manager Angel...
Look down there!
He pointed out the clear safety infraction that Mr. Molina had done when they poured tons of tuna on top of him and cooked him to 200 and said, that's a safety hazard. Yeah.
You're not allowed to do this!
Where's OSHA on that one? Huh? Yeah. OSHA. What are they good for? Huh? Anyway, the company, its plant operations director, Nathan Allen Rodriguez, and former safety manager Sal Flores were each charged with 3 counts of violating Occupational Safety and Health Administration rules that caused the death. Well, there you go, guys. Don't go swimming in tuna. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Any place else that'd just be called murder or manslaughter or
That is
something
so
like
nasty.
that.
That is funky, man.
Ooh. Hey, Sean.
What?
Someone just bought Hitler's personal phone
You gotta be kidding me.
for $243,000. A red button. By the way, folks, goes G&D in the news. Every time we make a mistake, you take a drink. That's why it's called the G&D drinking game. Of course, we make a lot of mistakes because we haven't read the stories yet. If you are planning on driving your vehicle this evening, please don't play the G&D drinking game. And if you have anything important to do, please listen responsibly. Now, back to the story. A battered red phone once belonging to Adolf Hitler, possibly used to send untold numbers of people to their deaths during World War II, has been sold at auction for $243,000.
Jesus.
The personal traveling phone, which features an engraved swastika and a Nazi and the Nazi leader's name, how about drink, folks, on the back, was sold at an unidentified buyer by telephone.
Oh, my God.
On Saturday, according to CNN.
He didn't even get to see it.
The seller, Alexander Historical Auctions in Chesapeake City, Maryland, described the phone as Hitler's mobile device.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah. Both the phone and Oh, I'm gonna have trouble with this one.
Do it. Just put it out there.
Porcelain dog.
I support you.
Were recovered from the mass murders bunker by British officer Ralph Reiner soon after the war ended, according to the auction house. Reiner said,
"Is that made up? Items, that name sounds made up. Is that made up?"
Ralph Reiner.
Yeah, Reiner. Sounds made up.
Ranulph Reiner.
Yeah.
Reiner.
Dude, you're the man.
The items were presented to his father as a gift by the Russian forces, who then controlled the city. So,
and brewskis.
So, $243,000 for a little a rotary phone with a red push button on it that supposedly could be. It was Hitler's mobile phone, which they literally would travel around with and plug into places, so Hitler could do his business.
You know, it's they were Hitler was
what they didn't know, Sean, was that Hitler never paid the bill for that phone, so it's been building up. So even though he paid $243,000 for the phone, he owes about $16 million in late fees on his phone bill. So.
And all his library books are overdue. Yeah, what an idiot. There you go, Hitler. Eat that one. Anyway, nightmare fish pops up to scare the living daylight, Nathan, out of beachgoers. What do you think about that?
Please tell me more.
I'm going to tell you a lot more, pal. Hold on to your pants. Here we go. I'm going to try not to spit too much in the microphone. I've been doing that a lot lately. I need a better pop guard, I think. What do you think? I don't know. Anyway, that's technology, guys, for podcasters. Pop guard. We don't expect you to understand. Anyway, in the news,
it's called foam.
Yeah, it's called foam. I have the foam around the mic. I can't believe it's not protecting.
That's a wind guard. That's different.
Yeah, it should protect me too, but it doesn't. That's what. That's the last thing I said before the kids came. Anyway, it should protect. Get it? Should protect me anyway. We've said it before, Nathan, and we'll say it again. The ocean is freaking terrifying. You know this one.
I agree 100%. No argument for me whatsoever.
Yeah, special thanks to AOL.com. My co-host Nathan and friend of long time says he agrees with you. A creature typically seen only in the depths of the Chesapeake reared its ugly head. And boy, do we mean ugly. On Virginia Beach last week, the East Coast Surfing Championships shared photos of the fish called Northern Stargazer. Look that one up online, guys. That their friend Ashley Rapier star had snapped. Yeah. They took you should see this thing, Nathan. It says, check this out, and it shows a picture, guys. A friend of the ECSC came across this stargazer while walking in Virginia Beach. These animals tend to live in the deep waters of the Chesapeake Bay. But this one found oceanside. Stargazers bury themselves in the sand in order to ambush prey. Their secondary gland creates an electric, that's all it says, creates an electric which makes them a serious predator. They do not pose any real threat to humans, but they sure look menacing. Too cool. And this is watch your step. Anyway, these guys are coming up in the ocean here, real close. I mean, they can move in, Nathan, like real close. This
and
one here.
What is their name?
It was called a what they call that? It's a stargazer.
Okay.
A stargazer, because its eyeballs are pointing straight up towards the sky, and this looks like, honestly, a critter. Remember the movies Critters?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this thing looks made up. This has to be a Hollywood trick here. Somebody put this here. Stargazers, guys. Look that up. Get in chat. Send us a picture of stargazers. We want to know if this is true, because we don't check the stories beforehand, so it could be all lies.
Hey, Sean, witches plan to cast mass spell against Donald Trump.
I heard this.
Donald Trump's presidency has cast a pall over the nation, so now witches are casting a spell against him.
Oh, my God.
A document making its rounds among the witch community is asking people who practice the craft to perform a monthly binding ritual until the president is removed from office. In order to work, the mass spell must be performed at midnight Eastern Standard Time. On every waning crescent moon. The first one is happening on Friday. And will I guess this was last Friday that this came out? Yeah, I guess so. On Friday. And will be followed by similar spell casting events on March 26th, April 24th, and May 23rd, and beyond.
God. You work with these people.
Course,
can't you help Trump out there?
This is my opinion on this, and let me just finish this part of it, and then I'll give my opinion.
I will allow it. I will allow it, my friend. Go ahead.
Unless of course Trump is cast out of office before then. This writer sounds prejudiced to me, but we will continue. I'm not going to say anything bad about the Huffington Puffington Post, because they might say cease and desist using our stories.
Yeah, thanks for the stories.
Michael W. Hodges, who writes about the paranormal, posts the spell, an exact news feed from last week. He stresses that a binding spell is different from a curse or a hex.
Okay.
It restrains, not harms, Hodges told the Huffington Post. I see it as a self-defense.
Okay.
People performing the spell will need an unflattering photo of Trump.
That won't be hard to do.
A tower tarot card.
Ooh.
Tiny stub of orange candles or orange carrots.
Okay.
A pin or small nail.
Oh.
A white candle.
Yeah.
A small bowl of water. A small bowl of salt.
Okay.
Feathers. Matches or a lighter.
All right.
And an ashtray or a dish of sand. Now, I'm not going to go into all how this works. He discusses more of the spell, but my opinion on this, Sean, is this: they're casting a spell to have Donald Trump removed from office.
Right.
Therefore, it is not a binding spell. A binding spell would prevent him from doing something.
Do no harm.
Right. So they're trying to get him cast out of office, and therefore, it is a hex.
Ooh. Okay.
That's
it right.
My personal opinion.
Yeah.
However, I would like to point out that they are casting a giant spell. So each person casting that spell, magically speaking, is connected to every other person casting that spell. So if you are going into that spell, meaning no harm, but the person 3,000 miles away helping you cast that spell at the exact same time is casting it meaning to do harm, then you are bound to that person in that spell. And so the backwash of bad energy could come on you.
That's what they get, Nathan. That's what they get.
I'm going to give you folks a little bit of advice that a witch that I once met gave me. And it was during a time where I was dealing with an employee or a coworker that I really didn't like to work with, and I wanted that coworker out. And the person said, I'm not going to tell you how to cast a spell to get that person out of their job.
Yeah.
What I will teach you to do is to cast a spell to get that person a better job.
Yeah.
That way, they leave, you get rid of them, and the good karma comes back on you. So what these people should be casting a spell for is to give Trump the wisdom, the knowledge, and the ability to be a good president and to run this country well, not to bind him or hex him or anything like that. Personally, my feeling, and this isn't an endorsement for Trump in any way, is just saying you should really be thinking about what's best, not just for what you think is right, but what's right for the universe, and that's how a spell works. And that's my little tip for the day. And
so this could possibly backfire on him, Nate.
Oh yeah, good, big time, because like I said, even though there's what the people are saying, it's not a hex, it's not a curse.
Right.
That may not be how somebody joining in that spell with you is seeing it, and you joining in a spell with them attaches you to their spell as well. So folks, I just say, be careful.
You're going to get it back, people. Don't do bad things.
Don't do bad magic.
You hear that music, Nathan?
I hear the music.
Guys, it's that time of season. It's that time of night where each week we talk about that show we know we love, The Walking Dead. We tell you what we thought about last week and what we think's going to happen tonight on our favorite show, The Walking Dead. Nathan?
John.
Yes? What did you think of last week?
You know, I was if anybody didn't notice last week, I was a little under the weather during the show, and
No.
I went and I started watching the show, and I had to go back and watch it again because I just wasn't totally able to concentrate on it the first time.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, weaponized walkers, what a great idea.
It's terrific.
By the way, folks, this is if you do not want any spoilers about last week's show, this is your 3-second warning to stick your fingers in your ears and wait till we're done talking. La 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 la. Okay.
You patented that. That was yours. You patented that. La 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 la. And we didn't say what the name of this segment is, Nate. I forgot.
It's Rot Talk.
Rot Talk. Rot Talk.
So yeah, Sean, weaponized walkers. I'm all for weaponized walkers. I think that is the move that Rick needs to make. He needs to capture all the walkers he can, weaponize them, and sick them on the saviors.
I would have to agree. I think that would be a very smart move. You could see you can't really and you kind of got into that back at the prison, where you ran into the guards with the bulletproof helmets and the vest,
and then again when they were checking out that metal shop, and the one walker had the skull that was covered with melted lead.
Oh yeah.
And they so it's the weaponized walkers, I think, is the way to go. Yeah. They could weaponize. Say they weaponize 200 walkers, set them loose, then fire off some explosives, and run in and just wreak havoc. I mean, behind them, get a couple armored vehicles, ride in, fire off some explosives. They have the explosives now. We know that.
Yeah, they absolutely got them. And they got the... now, listen. Here was something interesting came up, Nathan. I don't think these people are the Whisperers.
I think you're right. I think they're the Collectors.
The Collectors, okay, because if you remember, I was reading an article this week when they came across Morgan when he was going bat crap crazy.
Yep.
He said, I see people wearing dead people skin. If you remember that, they point that out. It was a reference, he thinks, to the Whisperers guys, which, if you know from the comic books, as Nathan has let me in on, that these people walk around with dead people flesh on them. That's how they get around the other walkers. So, yeah, I thought this would be the Whisperers, but it might not be.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to remember. It might be a different name. But I think they were called the Collectors or something like that.
Okay. Well, I got another story real quick before we think say what we think is going to happen tonight. Jeffrey Dean. We know our buddy Jeff, right? We're trying to get him on the show. Plays Negan on The Walking Dead, guys. We're in talks with him and his publicist right now. We're trying to make that happen. But Jeffrey D. Morgan, he responds to the Walking Dead racist T-shirt controversy. Huh?
Okay.
Yeah, well, this is another people are killing me, man. Here we go. Anyway, The Walking Dead is in the middle of a controversy. There's been a lot of those lately since he bashed Glenn's head in. Anyway, they're in the middle of controversy, guys.
I'm amazed everybody didn't stand up and say that it was an attack on Asians in America.
Yeah, well, they should have. Yeah, there should be a picketing. Something should burn down. Anyway,
you know what? That now we know why they went for the American soldier first. So that they didn't say it was racist.
That way nobody's butt hurt. Anyway, after Primark pulled the Walking Dead T-shirt after someone called his shirt racist, the British department store Primark discontinued sales of a T-shirt with Negan's baseball bat, Lucille, and there was a quote on it, Nathan. It simply said, "Eeny, meeny, miny, mo." You might remember that from that episode, right? And, after a shopper claimed the shirt was offensive, a shopper argued that the rhyme has a subliminal message because the rhyme is often followed by catch a N-word by his toe. Now, I
thought it was tiger.
Yeah, and it says, and not tiger. It's supposed to be catch an N-word by his toe and not a tiger by his toe, as Negan says to taunt Rick in the show. But that's what I always heard. Anyway, it was fantastically offensive, and I can only assume that no one in the process of ordering it knew what they were doing or were aware of its subliminal messages. It is directly threatening of a racist assault, and if I were black or were faced by a wearer, I would now just where I stood. He meant I would know.
You gotta love when you read those stories and they don't quite make it.
Yeah, it's no, but they put N-O-W. I believe that's still now, but it says what he meant to say was I would know just where I stood. One shopper said. Meanwhile, Jeffrey Dean Morgan fires back. Nate, way to go, Neeg. He says he had something to say about that controversy. Morgan took to Twitter, like our president does so often. Now Negan's getting in on it. Morgan took to Twitter and said, "Holy crap, people are stupid." The official quote, "Holy crap, people are stupid." Walking Dead shirt pulled from stores after complaint of racism. But Jeffrey Dean Morgan is not alone. Many other people said the store they gave a razzing to the store for pulling the T-shirt. The progressive left has hit maximum fake racist accusation. This is disgusting. Walking Dead T-shirt racist? Did these lefts watch the show? ? One Twitter user was writing that. Someone explained why that Walking Dead shirt, Nathan, is racist. Been looking at it for several minutes, and I don't get it. Hashtag Primark, hashtag The Walking Dead. Another Twitter user commented on the controversy. The Walking Dead is halfway into their 7th season, and it's currently the most watched show on television. In fact, the show's latest episode had more viewers than the NBA All-Star Game. I say way to go, Jeffy. I'm standing behind you. I think people have gotten ridiculous, okay?
I agree. Hey, Sean, I just wanted to point out on this, too, and I 100% stand with you on that one, that the scavengers...
Okay.
From Jadis's new group, inside information says the scavengers are nowhere in the comic. They are like Daryl. They are a completely unique design for the Walking Dead television show.
Here we go.
However, they are comic book based type characters. So they're supposed to be presented like something you'd see in a comic book.
Right.
However, they are not in the Walking Dead comics themselves.
All right. That is cool. So we haven't met the Whisperers yet.
No, we have not met the Whisperers yet, and so far, I'm liking the scavengers.
Yeah, I like them too, and they were easy. They were easy. He went up to it. She said, "Cool, I kind of believe you. Let's see." So she throws him down a trash heap and tries to kill him with the zombie. Then she's like, "Cool, you're in." I dig that. That's the way to bargain.
It's kind of like college hazing.
Yeah, yeah.
If you can run through the park in your underwear, take 16 paddles and.
Yes, sir. May I have another?
and down a keg of beer. Guess what? And then fight a weaponized zombie. Hey, you're in.
Wait, I don't remember that in Rush Week. Weaponized zombies. I don't remember. No, I was never in a frat. Was that wrong? I wasn't in college long enough. I went. I played football. I got hurt. I got out.
I was not in a frat. I'm in a fraternity now, but I am not. I was not in a frat in school, and I did belong to certain groups.
Was spankings a part of your initiation, though?
Spankings were not a part of our initiation. However, because it was co-ed, some spankings did go on.
Dude, you're the man.
Did you hear that?
I did not.
Oh, I said, dude, you're the man.
I was the man.
You are.
Now,
Dude, you're the man.
Now you're a spanked man. Anyway, what do you think's going to happen tonight, Nate, on The Walking Dead?
You know, I'm really tied up here because obviously this week's episode is going to be a flashback.
Spankings now tied up. Yes, I'm with you.
Yeah. You like where I go with that?
I do.
Spankings tied
Good
up.
lead in, my friend. Good lead in.
It's it'll be a ball gag. It'll
be a ball gag. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, it's obviously going to be a flashback.
Sure.
We're going to go back to the escape of Daryl.
Okay. Yeah.
And Negan's response to that. What led, where Negan goes from there. Because let's remember, at the end of the last episode, Daryl left the kingdom.
Oh, yeah.
And personally, I think this is moronic.
Yeah, I do too.
Everywhere he goes now, he's putting other people in danger.
Yeah. Well, when Corey came on the show, we were talking to him about, he didn't tell us nothing. He couldn't tell us anything. But he's such a cool guy. And in the show, he's so cool. I would definitely stay with this cat.
Yeah.
It just makes sense. You're endangering your group by being present with them. I mean.
Yep. I mean, what happens if he goes back and they show up, they find him, now they got to kill people. What if they kill Jesus? What if they kill Maggie?
Don't say it, Nathan. Don't say it. She's not been on our show, so I'm assuming she's going to live a long life in The Walking Dead.
If she agrees to come on the show, we know she's doomed.
She's getting well, our last two, actually, we're on a roll here. Kari's still
actually,
going.
Three.
Really?
Actually, 3 of the last 4.
Okay.
The last 4.
Who was the last 3 that's still alive? We had Jesus on, we had Tom on, and we had Kari.
Aaron.
Oh, yeah, and we had Aaron on. That's right. Yeah.
So,
you hit that one out of the park, pal.
3 of our guests still surviving. Carrying on the legend.
They're living it.
As it were.
Anyway, guys,
but,
what do you think's going to happen tonight, though? Is the war going to start? You think it's all flashback, right?
I think it's all flashback. I think it's going to build up to where we are now. And my worry is it ends with them finding Daryl. It's or even worse, Carol.
Yeah, because she's out there alone, and that's looking bad. But I think Daryl's tracking back to the cabin right now. Well, he did. Remember, he went back. He had a bowl of soup. They need to do it. They still haven't done
How
it.
did you feel about Daryl not telling Carol what's going on?
Listen, Bub, how do you not find a middle-aged, fairly hot woman during the zombie apocalypse that clearly has somewhat of a hotness for you, right? Some feelings.
There's some definite mommy issues going on there, man.
There's something, because I'd have been all over it. I'd have tore it up. That cabin would smell of roses and stinky hot. Anyway, I'm just
spankings and
yes, there would have been a lot going on. And then they showed the trailer this week that you tried to dispute the fact that it was the one from the Load It Down and Truck In. We're going to do what they say can't be done. What movie is it? Smoking the Bandit.
Smoking the Bandit.
They showed the trailer where the cat from the Kingdom was there. They're trying to go off with Daryl Dixon, and they wanted to kill these people, and then he left him to go protect Carol, but they had that big trailer. And a lot of people were saying, oh, look, it's a flashback. It was the trailer from Smokey and the Bandit. And I think you commented that you didn't think it was. You thought it might be a backup or something.
I think, the actual placement of the characters on the trailer are a little off. And I think it was either a reproduction or maybe one of the ones that was used as like a. You've worked in film with me, Sean. It's
sure.
When you go out and film, you have vehicles and stuff that you just use to film driving down the road. No actors in them, anything like that. You just need second shots.
Yeah.
Second run shots, and so that might have been a truck that was used for that or something like that. But the placement just didn't kind of match up for me.
Yeah. Well, not only does Hollywood beat a dead horse to death with the same genre-burning television shows they have, but they also use the same stuff, props and things like that sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of times.
Yeah, I mean, geez, it's how many... if you go and look up television shows, you can find like 10 different television shows have been filmed in the same house,
Oh, yeah, and the same, but they just change it up a little bit. Except the Munsters house, Nathan. I don't.
No,
think
that was a unique house.
Yeah.
That was a unique house.
Hey, I gotta say,
1313 Mockingbird Lane.
1313 Mockingbird is still there. It's on the lot. They haven't tore it down. Although Universal Studios tore down the Psycho house.
I know that upset me. That upset me greatly.
That was crazy. Hey, shout out to our good friend Jonathan Breck that came on last Sunday. Guys, he's the creeper from Jeepers Creepers. As you know, if maybe not, maybe you haven't listened to the episode yet, but he came on. He told us very little. He told us a lot of inside stuff. Right, Nathan?
Right. He did. He gave us a lot of, like, what happened behind the scenes kind of stories.
But what did he tell us when we asked him about filming?
We said, man, could you just give us a hint? Are they going to start filming Jeepers Creepers 3?
Yeah.
So you got to go back and listen to the episode. But basically, he told us he couldn't give us any information, but it was going to be a really good year. People were going to be excited.
For the Jeepers Creepers fans.
Yep.
Creeper fans. And then, of course, Monday morning in the news, Jeepers Creepers 3 starts filming today. Jesus, Jonathan, you couldn't tell us that. You couldn't even tell you he was going to start filming the next day. He must have been on an airplane that night after our interview.
He must, or either that or he had already landed, and that's why he was like, because we asked him, when can you want to do it this week? He said, no, I'll do it that Sunday. Yeah, that'll be a good show. We'll do it Sunday night.
Well, he did say this is the last episode or last interview I'll be doing for a very long time. So that's it. He said that's it. So he's going to be a busy man. Busy
you want
summer.
that inside Jeepers Creepers information, folks, go back and listen to that episode. It was a fun episode.
He told us a lot. And if you don't listen to it, up yours. We're going to use it
Yeah.
for our Comic-Con appearance, and Comic-Con people can listen to it. We give these people pearls, Nathan, and they listen to us on XM or whatever
And
6 months later.
We cast our pearls.
Yes.
Well, we're the swine,
Pearl
so I
necklace.
don't know how that'll work. It's
Pearl necklace. Anyway, Nathan, what do you say we go to break, pal?
is she calling in?
Well, it's, I don't know. I think.
Oh, look at that. Yep. Let's go to break, Sean.
Is she coming in? Well, let's do this real quick, guys. Let's turn up the sound on that because you probably want to hear the background music. I know I always do. Anyway, tonight's guest, an American actress and stuntwoman and contortionist. She's best known for her amazing work on such films as Devil Inside, The Last Witch Hunter, and, of course, her Hollywood smash hit that just came out, Rings. Bonnie Morgan, the foxy redhead, and America's favorite bendy, TV-dwelling, soul-eating Samara from the Rings franchise will be right here in studio with your host, GhostMan&Demon Hunter, or Nathan Deshawn for short. Yeah, she's cool. I can't wait to get her on. Let's not make her wait. Did you put her on hold?
She's on hold.
Anyway, guys, each week on this show, we play an independent band. One we know, we love, we support the little man, right, Nate?
We do.
No, we don't. You just saying that. Sounds forced.
No, we do, really.
Actually, we do, guys. He's not lying. Anyway, name of the band tonight, Nathan, is Mega Gem. Name of the song, Creepy Fingers. I thought that was appropriate because Samara and Bonnie's so creepy, but she's hot. She's smoking hot. Anyway, Shadow Nation, Demon Hunter,
GhostMan.
We shall be right back with actress, contortionist Bonnie Morgan from the Rings. Stay tuned.
So I wonder what effect I might have on children in their sad and bitter lives. And with what words we greet each other gladly. Remind the petals not to drop. not there at all. But if we can forget our fear of the cold, we might make it where the stars can still shine.
Hi, this is Olin Catherine Kelly from The Autopsy of Jane Doe, and I hope you're enjoying listening to Sean and Nate on Shadow Nation.
Hey, welcome back, Shadow Nation. Tonight's guest is an American actress, stunt woman, and contortionist, best known for her amazing work on such films as The Devil Inside, The Last Witch Hunter, Rings 2, and most recently for her returning role as Samara in the Hollywood smash hit Rings. Tonight, America's favorite, foxy, and spooky redhead, Miss Bonnie Morgan in studio. Bon, what's going on, man?
Being very spooky at the moment. Sorry. Hi, gentlemen.
Foxy spooky. Yeah.
Very, very scary. I'm very scary.
Well, I got to say, having you on, we've been on 10 years now, Bon, and we've been, stalking you for at least 6 of those. And
oh, me, oh, my, is that who that was behind my curtain?
Under all those undergarments that come up missing, and no, I'm kidding. But
he's kind of kidding.
I knew it.
Anyway, no, but you were fascinating because I always love carny folk, and
Honey,
he
my
said,
hands are not that small, and I don't smell that much of cat.
he says
Sorry,
that now.
so,
When he found out I was a carny, he was like, "Ooh."
I'll say this though, I actually do have a dunk tank in my yard, so I am technically a carny.
Oh my God, you just passed the test. How can you say you're not a carny and you have a dunk tank? And there's clowns 24 hours a day. I can imagine that, right?
And that was not her nose.
Me, not you.
No, but you're doing everything. I was thinking of when to start out, and doing research. I've listened to 500 interviews you did. You've done, everybody asks you the same base questions, which of course I'm going to have to do too, about your childhood, how you grew up, how you started being so bendy, and all that stuff.
Oh, all right then.
Yeah, I was really I wanted some good questions to knock Bonnie out. I wanted her to remember coming on the show because you do so many of them. But first
Are
off,
you kidding? You're unforgettable.
Say unforgettable. I don't know. Do you want to start off, Nathan? See, that's it. I was singing with Bonnie. Can you believe that? I can die happy now.
We did a little duet.
We did.
It was a
together.
half-dead duet, but a duet nonetheless.
It fell flat. No, but you grew up, and they say in your bio that you grew up in a castle on the peaks of Hollyweird. You want to take us back to that?
I did. High atop the cliffs of La La Land, under a remote rock of Hollyweird, is a little canyon known as Laurel. And there is what my sister refers to as the Barbie Dream Castle. I live in a castle that was built in 1926 that my dad painted turquoise with pink and purple trim. Because that's what we do in my house, apparently. And we are a veritable troupe of actors with the stranger side jobs, sort of rather straight jobs that you might imagine. I'm a contortionist. My sister's a belly dancer. My father is a stuntman, stunt coordinator, and animal double.
Right.
He doubled the dog in Cujo.
I know.
Horror history for you. going way back, my grandma opened for Frank Sinatra and Jimmy Durante in, back in the day in 1942. Hot shot, shot. That's my schnozzle. I'm losing all credibility in this interview. I apologize. I should probably rack the silly back a little bit.
No. This is our show. It's actually the basis is silly. Yeah, that's what's got us through it. Yeah.
Then I'm in good company.
Mm-hmm. No.
Yes.
But
and my father has run game booths at the Renaissance Fair since the mid-'70s. So when I said I'm a carny, we are costumed carnies. He has the rope ladder, the dunk tank, and a high striker. And it's been fun. It's been quite an adventure up until now.
Up until now? Now it all stops?
Up until now that I'm dead in a well and demon-possessed and killing people in televisions. You know, my life took a turn for the dark, but I'm good with that.
How does your family feel about that? They're like, oh, we've got this great event coming up. You're like, oh, I'm filming, Dad.
Yeah.
Oh, never. I actually bring my dad with me as much as I possibly can. He is one of the greatest assets in my life.
He's awesome.
Seriously. Not only does he's been in this business forever and ever. He was the original Richie in the Dick Van Dyke pilot.
Jesus.
Back before Dick Van Dyke, it was a Carl Reiner show. I think it was called Head of the Family.
Right.
So if anyone knows this business and me and what I do, my dad, he is my right hand, more or less.
And he's awesome.
My left foot.
You took him with, and she's not lying, Nate, because she's taken her pop with her to all these he's done interviews with him. He's amazing. He's a showman, like us, like Bond, and everywhere they go, you can just tell that it sparks. He's a born showman. But I wanted to say, Bonnie, when I always wanted to be raised by your family, gypsies. That's how I sparked this. I think you guys are roaming town to town, right?
From what I can tell, you would have fit in very nicely.
I can't bend as well.
Swords, do you?
I can't bend as well, but no, Nathan does.
My grandfather did though, and that was I still have his
miracle that we got you.
Let's see.
I've actually got one of his swords hanging on my bedroom wall, and it's.
He totally picks up chicks with that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Would you like to see the sword my grandfather used to swallow?
Before I met my wife, I was like, check out my grandfather's sword swallowing, and I don't have the throat for it. It sounds as if I tried it, but I don't.
You have to relax the muscles. I know that.
Oh, we could go so far with this. I would get in so
How
much
deep
trouble.
could we go?
I am literally just not. I'm not saying it.
Come on, Bonnie. You're not on contract right now, or maybe you are. We have to get into that.
I couldn't possibly. I have to maintain some level of decorum.
Well, you just had the smash,
Bonnie,
man.
I watched your red carpet interview. Which decorum are you talking about?
You know, and unfortunately, they were like, we really want there to be a little mystique around you. I'm like, oh, yeah, no, I think I lost that.
It's funny, too, because wherever Sean and I go, somebody either wants us to tell a ghost story or to tell us their ghost story. And it gets a bit much after a while. We like it, but after a while, it gets to be a bit much.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine what it's like to walk into a room and somebody goes, oh, show us a contortionist trick. Show us at every party you go to. And
well, it's kind of a joke, especially among people who do things like I do. You walk in, it's like, what do you do? Anything that they do, be it doctor, lawyer, CPA. It's like, oh, that's nice. What do you do? I'm a contortionist. Do something. I didn't just ask you to do my taxes.
Dance for me.
Can you remove my appendix, please, doctor?
Yes.
I'm a designer. Oh, make me a dress.
Yes. Could you help me out?
It would just be rude.
I know it is rude. At least
there's a certain given with performance that it's like, impress me, dance, monkey.
Yeah. Get up
but
and
then
go.
Again, I have to say, no matter who it is, whether it's, a dancing pigeon or Baryshnikov, when someone has paid their money and put their ticket down at the end of the day, it's dance monkey.
That's for all of us,
and
right?
every now and again, it's like, so what are you up to? I get this really fun, amazing job. It's like, so what are you doing at the end of the day? Dance monkey.
That's it. Not all of us get a stage to dance on, but you definitely.
Sometimes it's the corner of a sidewalk.
That's right. And you deserve one. That's what I want to talk about, Bon. How did you get into, you weren't always a superstar like you are now. What was it like a young Bonnie growing up? I know you on the playground, you had to be very careful because you're very flexible. Let's start there.
Okay, let's start there.
Take me back.
I was a social outcast. I was highly socially awkward. I was a kid actor Really, I did. I was literally an Oscar Mayer Wiener kid.
Me too.
Fruit Roll-Ups has stripes.
That's
I was
right.
on Blossom and Life Goes On
Yeah,
and
you were
Step by
everywhere.
Steps and shows like that. So I was used to I would call it an adult world, but it's, performing adults. So it's kind of childlike grown-ups. So I would go on the playground and try to tell my dad's Yiddish jokes, which really don't go over well in the third grade. They just look at me and go, "Why are you talking like that?" I don't know. People laugh when my dad does this. That's just never mind. So around the fourth grade, and again, being a contortionist does not get you points on the playground in the second grade. They run away from you. It is not normal. And being not normal as a kid, it doesn't really go well. So around the fourth grade, I came home to my mom and I said, I am not going to make it here. This is going poorly for me. So I convinced her to homeschool me, and she had the greatest threat of any teacher ever. She was like, I will put you back in school. I was the best homeschool student ever. I just didn't want to go back. So, yeah, I started out as a fairly normal kid actor, as normal as those go, and even among them, I was kind of a weirdo.
That's so weird, though. I always thought a kid actor, when I was growing up, 75 was when I was born, so when I was coming up, I was thinking, oh my God, so cool, if I could just be on the Facts of Life, because I was an outcast too. I mean, who's not, in a way? No,
those of us who grew up to be us didn't do very well.
But I always thought that. I always thought, oh, man, if I could just get one shot and walk into school and be like, yeah, that was me in the... I mean, what did Messy Marvin have that I didn't have, huh? That could have been
right?
me. I know.
Who was he? What did he have?
Well, he was the kid in the Christmas
He would have been
store.
incredible.
I could have been Messy Marvin. No, but it was so
Would have
weird.
been a contender.
I could have been a contender. No, but, I always thought you had had the easy street. I mean, all you guys that are in there. But I guess you're not. I guess reality strikes, and you're just a regular kid.
I don't know. I was a weirdo outcast, like, the better part of our kind. And in some circles, still am. I definitely walk into circles like, hi. Oh, no. I really have to put you better tuck that back in. Your crazy's showing a little bit.
I know. I hate that. You always if there's an a-hole in the room, I will find them. And I'm always trying to be light and fluffy, so I'll walk in and be like, hey.
How do they find me? How do they always find me?
I know. And you try to be all funny and jazzy, and somebody's like, hey, I don't do that, man. Or I don't, how you doing? They look at you weird. Why are people like that, man? Come on.
I worked with a contortionist once, and even among contortionists, I'm a very goofy contortionist, a little more comedic than those. Most of the girls, think they're Russian. A lot of them are Russian. And my act is very like I am, so I'm working with a girl who's a beautiful performer.
Yeah.
And I said, so have you worked with any circuses, different shows, traveling? And she looks at me coldly. She says, I don't do circuses. Cultural events. Cultural events.
That's great.
That's fancy for circus where I come from. And she just stared me down. I'm like, yeah.
I got
We're not
you.
going to be close.
She trained at the ballet.
Yes. Oh, no. She was clearly trained.
I've been professionally trained,
among my
Bonnie.
betters. I do cultural events. I was like, oh.
That's crazy.
And somehow I'm the jerk once again.
And then she probably goes home and cries into her pillow. See? I mean, a lot of people do that,
How do you know?
And that concludes our interview with Bonnie Morgan, everybody. Cue music. No, I'm kidding.
A very long, awkward silence and a light click.
Hey,
Yeah.
when the end of the Hulk music is playing, as
We
she's
made the
walking
ring
down
girl
the
cry.
I
road,
guess that's our show.
Yeah. We'd be famous. We made the Samara cry on our show. It's terrible. But if that's the way we got to do
sleep, gentlemen. While you sleep.
it. I know, right?
You give my wife nightmares, just to let you know. She loves you.
Yeah.
It was my pleasure.
Well, since I seen your beautiful
Did
picture,
she snuggle with you extra?
see,
Was she scared?
No, but when something scared her in the middle of the night, she did swing over and hit me in the head in the middle of the night. So
when I first
I have that effect on
but
women.
but she does that to me when she's not asleep. So
regular,
it's-
yeah,
Oh.
that's true.
Well,
No, But
at least it was a surprise for everybody.
when I first seen you years ago, Bonnie, and I seen you on television, I think it was a medical show. You were showing them how cool you are and what you can do, and they were going, "Oh my God," you know.
Oh, good gosh, that was the doctors. Yes.
Yes, and you were knocking them dead. You were killing it. You came out in a box, and I'm thinking, "Oh my
thank you.
God!" No, you know this, and you came out.
I stood conveniently in the overhead compartment.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And you can. This chick, oh my God, Bonnie. But when I seen your picture, I went from being spooked by Samara to being in love.
Oh, I bet you say that to all the redhead consultants on your show.
I do. This is the only one.
You do. They warn me about you.
I know. No, but you were, I mean, people just don't see it.
Talker, yeah?
People just don't see it. I mean, you see this creepy girl crawling down and is doing the spider walk, which you're famous for now, around the world. Yeah, and you're coming out the well. By the way, that's probably why the kids didn't like you much, because when you're on the playground, you're not supposed to come out of the well and try to grab.
Yeah, kind of creeping around the back of the picnic table playing Gollum. Doesn't go over very well with moms.
I know. But, you know, you did that, and people just don't put that face with the stuff that you can do. And you can do so much stuff. But why, growing up, what was your inspiration? Was it horror? Did you like drama movies, comedies? What do you think?
I have always been a comedy buff. Comedy has always been my passion, my love, my all of this. I'm going to just leave it there. Mm-hmm. And I got to say, comedy and horror are very close. It's all timing at the end of the day.
Do tell.
Knowing just how long you can let someone sit there before you reach out and grab them. I mean, it is. The timing, that long silence before the bonk.
Oh, yeah.
There's also
I wasn't hugely into horror. I was very into fantasy, though. I loved the, Pixies in the Bog, Legend, Labyrinth. I was a huge Henson fan.
Oh yeah.
I probably would have thought myself going into sci-fi before horror, but again, it's kind of close once you start getting into the creature world.
Right. No, but Jim Henson. I had the first Muppets lunchbox. What do you think about that? That's right.
I'm so jealous.
Right here in studio, I actually have the first, guys, I'm going to tell you, Bonnie, and you're going to hate me for this, but I have
I'm going to be so jealous.
I have the original 1975 Jim Henson licensed product of Kermit the Frog and Fozzie the Bear right behind me. Yes, thank you. He's missing his hat.
Oh, that's awesome.
They got some holes, but they're still on the shelf.
Animal is my spirit creature.
Animal drum. That's it, man. Hey, Nathan, what about your Carney days, man? Do you relate?
Tell me of yourself as a Carney, my friend.
I don't like telling my Carney stories because everybody immediately thinks I was a grifter. It's but
not at all. I know many on the sideshow.
No, I started young, 17. Carnival came through town. I didn't want to stick around, so I joined up. And, you get out there, you start – well, maybe I was 18 at that point. But they come in and you walk around and there's always this sign up that says help wanted, and I grabbed it and ran over.
This is like the plot to Joe Dirt, Nate.
Yeah, pretty much. I wind up working in one of the booths where you play pinball, and the more points you get, the farther your horse – the Kentucky Derby, that's what it was called.
Oh, you were the gaming joint.
I was a joint, yeah.
Step right up.
Money not going on too, I believe.
But this was back in the days when you worked, if you worked a joint, you slept on the floor at night inside the joint. You didn't. Absolutely. You didn't get one of these trailers they have now where they pull it behind and everybody gets their own little compartment and like a room and stuff. I'm really jealous of the Carnies of this day.
Oh, no, they got it easy. You were there for 3 hots and a cot.
Yeah, and if you were lucky, you'd eat breakfast at a Popper, and you'd go over and just
a Popper.
Like a candy stand.
Man's my people, I hear you.
Yeah, they just you'd live on Coca-Cola coffee. If you were lucky, the guy who ran the waffle making thing for the ice cream would let you have a waffle in the mornings. Usually you lived on fried dough.
Mostly.
Yeah. So
and you never quite shake the smell of cotton candy, fuel, and popcorn from your hair.
No. You
always kind of have your own atmospheric scent of that strangely reminds you of home.
The one thing I was never good at was heat. I could never deal with when people started fighting in the middle of. I could never get involved. It was.
And I hate to admit it, nothing attracts fights like a midway.
No.
I have seen more fist fights break out at a midway as at a sporting event.
That's
it's like,
crazy.
holy gosh, what is it about the tilt-a-whirl that just picks you guys off?
Well, we all know you people grease up the ring toss, okay? I get angry with that. I get angry. I target you people.
Are you accusing me? Are you accusing me of rigging my game?
Are you talking to me? Yeah.
Are you
making
accusations against this fine establishment?
That's right.
Of childhood glee?
Another $1, please.
You almost had it. $2 more, son.
I know. Come back. You look like a winner.
Sure, and you'll wind up with...
There is a legend. You know the 3 milk bottles you knock over with baseball?
Yeah.
There is a legend that there was a tornado down in Midway, somewhere, of course, in the middle of the country where those things happen, actually tipped over the Ferris wheel, moved the tilt-a-whirl across the street, and the only 3 things left standing on the Midway were those 3 milk bottles.
It's funny. It's funny because when you work it, you learn the secrets, you learn the tricks, and I think I wound up marrying my wife because on one of our very first dates, we were at Coney Island. And she must have walked away with every stuffed animal and every prize because they pretty much walked up to me and said, "Okay, you got to go now. You're not allowed to play here anymore."
Yeah, you there, Bon? Did we lose Bonnie?
Oh no, we lost Bonnie.
Did I lose you?
Hey, what's the problem here, lady?
Well, I've got an open line on my other ear just in case this was a. Oh, wait. No, you hung up on the other line.
Just in case.
Something I said?
In case this was a flop, the agent, the publicist.
We were looking for your double, so that.
What's this? My time was up.
Yeah. Step right up.
I guess that's our show.
Another $1. No, but what were you saying, Nate? About your wife?
I was just saying that. I don't even remember what I was saying, Sean. What was I ending on?
ADD radio.
Last thing I said was that I can climb a rope ladder, slack or taut.
Oh.
And then you said.
Can I hold that ladder for you?
May I push in your stool?
No, listen. You guys are going to go on and on about the carny life. I didn't get to enjoy any of it, but what I did do as a small child, I remember growing up in Indianapolis, Indiana, out here in the middle of cornfields, they had a magic shop. And every summer, I would go in this magic shop and I would see the great Ringling Brothers, sideshow posters and stuff like that of these mystic beings, you know?
God bless them.
I know the guy would nail the things in his head, and the lady that could walk on glass, and the flying trapeze, the lady that could hang from a rope wire bare teeth, and the Houdini with the dark eyes, and he did the magic. And I was fascinated. I thought you people, contortionists, entertainers, were truly magic. Fairies. I truly believe that, and I want it so bad to be inside that world. What was it like? I know you said you grew up in the big house in Hollywood and everything, but as a small kid, you didn't just come out and go da 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 da. I mean, you had to adjust to it. What was the first experience like for you when your old man brought you in and said, "Here you go, babe. This is what we're doing"?
More or less, it was business as usual. I mean, the first trick any of us learn is to balance on our dad's hand at 5 months.
Yeah.
Because you can't bend your knees. It's true. You can get any baby to stand on your hand, but after that, they have to want to. And the same goes for animals that perform, children that perform, adults that perform. The ones that want to do. I think I went through a strange kind of shy phase when I was about 7.
Yeah.
It lasted about 2 weeks.
Exactly. It lasted about 2 weeks, and I realized how much more fun everyone else was having. I grew up among some truly gifted, fun performers, and it is normal. Whatever your life is life. There is no normal life. I grew up with a goat. I went to a friend's house who didn't have one. I was like, "Where's their goat?" They had a hamster.
So did
I
Nathan.
thought the hamster was the coolest thing ever. I grew up with a hedgehog.
Bonnie and I are just clicking here because I grew up with goats as well.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yes. No, I had full-grown Nubians and Alpines.
Oh, Nubians are tall. We couldn't have those. They could actually, get up on things. But we had a pygmy who used to get on cars. Like she'd go from the bumper to the hood to the windshield to the roof.
Oh, I'll never forget my aunt driving down in her brand new car one day, and one of my goats ran down the driveway and jumped right up on top of it. It was...
Yeah.
Well,
that happens. We think it's great. They're not too keen on that whole thing.
Well, I had an Alf doll, first edition. So.
Did you really?
Yeah. Suck on that egg, guys. You and your goats.
you and your goats and your chickens and your monkey or whatever it was.
I was wearing
your monkey.
You guys were playing with your goats.
Charles.
You guys were playing with your goats while I was wearing my Alf t-shirt and Bermuda shorts with my socks pulled all the way up.
Well,
Whatever.
trust me, walking around town known as the guy who has goats and stuff like that didn't make me that popular either.
Ladies' man.
But
See?
Yeah.
But it all changes. You grow up. You've had some fascinating things happen to you. I mean, what was it like to be able to stare face to face with Tom Cruise between your own legs?
That was so much fun. That was a funny story. I don't know how much time we have, but that actually was kind of a journey that got us there. He was entirely amused by the entire thing. What a nice guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, there were certain moments when I do the thing, and he'd kind of just turn and say, I know everyone asks, but does it hurt? Like, no, that's good, because you're doing this a lot. I'm like, oh, no, we're fine. So I had quite a few upside-down conversations with Tom Cruise, who was just lovely.
So the older we get, Bonnie, like me, I can't even bend to touch my toes hardly anymore. I'm only 41, but, I'm working on that. I've been going to the gym quite a bit.
Child.
Right. No, but listen, I know in the past they ask you, oh, my God, do you stretch all the time? And you're like, not as much as I probably should. But the older we're getting, does it hurt more?
Oh, geez, I'm going to have to come up with a different answer.
Come up with a different one. Exclusive right here, guys. Shadow Nation. Does it hurt to stretch? She forgot the question.
I got to say this. The things that were really easy when I was 12 are still relatively easy.
Wow.
And the tricks that I really had to work for, I still do. It's I hate to say it's a gift. It makes me sound like a putz, but it really is. But I've also kept at it. A lot of people are very limber. I constantly run into people who say, I used to be able to do that. The thing is, with major, and I believe what seems to me with major hormonal changes, is when the body locks up and things stop moving the way they used to.
Yeah.
So if you find other interests, like friends or boys or things that never really happened for me, right?
All of a sudden we know why you've been so well. Okay.
Yeah.
Or if you succumb to peer pressure of that's not normal, that's weird, you shouldn't do that.
Right, whatever.
It is a use it or lose it situation.
Yeah.
And I just continue doing it because, well, it amused the hell out of me. It scared my sister's friends, and it turned out to be an interesting living.
Right.
How many people get to fly around on wires pretending to be Wendy?
And Peter, thank you very much.
And Peter, that's right. You got to do the
both.
sword fights.
That's right.
I got to do the infamous 5-rap on Peter Pan.
Ooh.
There is a stunt where Captain Hook grabs Peter and he yells fire, and they shoot a cargo net and he throws Pan and he unwinds like a yo-yo. That was a stunt that very few people could do because, well, it would kind of bust out their pelvic girdle.
Yeah. Bonnie, I woke up sometimes, my legs asleep or whatever, try to get out of bed, boom, right, face first. Now, listen, I know you're still human, right? A little bit, and...
Last I checked, I still...
No, I
like
watched the Terminator videos, Sean. I can argue that.
That's true. That's right.
More machine than man,
I know.
Gentlemen.
But listen, what about muscle spasms? Sis? You're in the well or you're getting ready for a shot because we had a TV show. It got canceled, and we've been waiting around for the directors and the 5,000 assistant producers to decide what they were going to do after they argue. And I've gotten tired just standing up. So I can't imagine you getting ready in a locked position or bent position waiting on someone. Do you ever get a muscle spasm and freak out like, hey?
Oh, I get stiff. Absolutely. I am not superhuman. I absolutely get muscle and joint fatigue. Sometimes I'll definitely pull one hip out of the socket one too many times. It's like, a couple of days to let it rest and let it get used to it. But I do get ditched a lot. they kind of get used to me being fairly self-sufficient, ready to go, and all of that. And all of a sudden, I'm like, guys, just like you guys, can we stop arguing? I hear the DP, I just want to move my way. I'm like, I'm getting down from here.
Mm-hmm.
We're 15 minutes away, 2 minutes away, 2 minutes away. I'm like, no.
I'm getting
You're
down.
lying to me. I know you're lying to me. And then I get the words that will probably be carved in stone on my headstone, and that's, you're such a trooper. I have been told what a trooper I am more times than I would like to admit. And I used to be like, wow, I'm pretty proud of that.
I feel great. Yeah.
I feel great. Now I'm like, yes, I know. I'm very patient.
The problem is the person that's the trooper gets left.
Wait, hang on. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks for coming.
I have people here. What do you want?
We're second class. We're second class
Say goodbye
guys.
to the bird groomer. I got a cockatoo. He gets his nails clipped every now and again.
Hey, we got a cockatoo. No, but listen, what was you going to say, Nate? I didn't want to interrupt.
I was just thinking that the person that's the trooper gets left down in the well for 20 minutes waiting for the next shot, while the diva they're like, oh no, let's get her coffee right away. She's been waiting for 2 minutes. It's
You know how many times I've thought that? I'm like, I need to be more difficult. I'm like, that just makes me laugh.
Well, that's good. I know we're running out of time. Samara, talk about how you got that role, how you auditioned for it. What did you know going into the audition? How do you prepare for something epic like that?
Interestingly enough, I was kind of directly called in for the second Ring movie. They tracked me down through the stunt department. The stunt coordinator is a very cool guy named Keith Campbell, who literally used to take me to Magic Mountain when I was 12.
Oh, you had an in.
Guy. I'm very serious.
Oh, wow.
I couldn't ride the rides till I was, 20, because I was too short, but, we'll just leave that alone.
That's where the platform shoes came from. I knew it.
You knew all the workers there, though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, you guys have been looking at my pictures.
They're always above your head.
We took them. We told you. It's
Cyberstalker.
You guys didn't get it. I said it's hard to miss your platforms. They're always above your head. I was saying that in.
I am very short. I am a wee person.
A wee lad.
But back to the subject at hand.
Yeah.
He tracked me down. He said, literally, Bonnie, are you still doing that bendy stuff? Yes, hi, Keith. Good to talk to you. Yeah, I'm still doing that. He goes, I need you to come in. I need to see if we can basically dupe the CG department out of a shot. Like, okay, what do you need? So he gets the director, and it was like this. It was a coup.
Oh.
We literally were. He goes, his name's Hideo, Japanese, wonderful man. He's like, I don't want CGI monster.
Mm-hmm.
Like, really? He says, no, it won't be scary. I want practical. Rio is more scary.
Oh, yeah. I have to agree.
Okay, what'd you have in mind? And Keith went, you know what? Film something. Show me what you got. Let's work something out, because I think we could actually make something really special and really practical. We just need to present it to production, because basically the CG department had convinced them that they couldn't and wouldn't find anything that was more scary than the computer monster that they were making Samara into.
No.
And they're probably also thinking, once we make computer Samara, all the next movies are going to be our computer Samara. We're going to be the heroes, and we're going to have to be able to do away with the whole makeup department.
Uh-huh.
So the first spider crawl test was done on my living room floor. I think they included that footage in the special features of the DVD for part 2.
Oh, yeah. No, it's amazing how you got that. Because
and I'm a huge Samara fan. Oh, my gosh. Getting to don the wig and the scales. Scales of slime.
Do you think your coup was actually the start of... Because I have to admit, I have noticed since that whole Samara climbing out of the well issue, more and more horror directors going with real people doing the roles instead of CGI. In The Conjuring 2, I was watching that guy, like, who played the Shadow Man or the Hat Man, whatever he was, jump all over the stage. And I thought for sure that was a CGI. And then turns around and find out it's a real person.
Yep.
And
it's augmented for sure. They definitely take frames out to give us a more stuttery, unearthly look. And they'll ramp and slow our movements. But it is practical. And I like to think, or at least I hope, that I was part of the performer contortion revolution that a lot of horror movies, it's like, well, did you have a contortionist?
Right.
No.
No.
Don't
There's
have a real scary monster unless you got a bendy.
there's no way, Bond. Look what Star Wars
I
did.
like to think that I started that.
Look what JJ did with Star Wars and brought it back. People want practical. They don't want this CGI. It's not working, man.
Well, we can still tell the difference.
I know. Yeah.
They really want to think they've got it down. They really want to think that.
Well, and they do wonders,
like
but
Life
it's
of Pi. Life of Pi. When I first saw it, people went, "Oh my gosh, it was so real." I sat down. I went, "That is a computer-generated tiger.
Right.
Those animals are not there." However, after not too long, your mind accepts it.
Yeah.
But they still haven't gotten it to a point that you look and say, that is real.
Yeah.
They don't have skin and hair down quite right. It isn't the same.
No.
What were the differences in the technical differences in doing Ring 2 to doing the Rings? Like, what were what different film techniques or special CGI techniques, or what did they do differently for it?
Oh, they don't let me upstairs. They don't let me in on the filmmaking side.
What did they do?
I have to admit, most of the time, I am blind on set. Between the hair, the contact lenses, and all of that, they're sort of leading me around.
Yeah. We just had Jonathan Breck on last Sunday, the Creeper from Jeepers Creepers, and he said he can't see half the show when they're filming because they want that dead eye look. They put those contact. That's what they do to you, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, how do you do it? Lights and shadow?
Lights and shadow, and amazing spatial awareness.
Oh my God! And you already are like rubber, so you can't really. You know.
No, not always as easy as it looks, kids.
We got to go to the movies. I always wanted a Stretch Armstrong lady. They never had one.
Ooh,
See,
lady elasticity.
Bonnie, you just had The Rings come out, right?
I did.
What next is coming up for Bonnie? That was huge. People are loving it. They're flooding into the theater still. I know I still want to go back and see it again. What's coming up for the mighty Bonnie Morgan?
I am so glad that they're loving Rings. It was so much fun to make. I'm glad it's as much fun to watch as it was to make. Up next, I'm playing Judy Punch on an episode of Hap and Leonard.
Oh.
Season. That's right, with James Purefoy and all of those crazy cats.
Oui, oui.
And I've just signed on for a sci-fi franchise that I'm very excited about, but I'm not sadly allowed to divulge as of yet.
Oh, my God. You always got something you can't talk about. I've listened to all your interviews.
It's so exciting!
I know. We're supposed to get spoilers. Oh, shucks.
We need the spoilers.
But I'll say this, on Hap and Leonard, you actually get to see me. There is no latex, no creature, no monster, no costume, just more or less craziness.
Oh. Now, listen, we're doing Comic-Con here in a couple months here in Indy.
Are you guys?
Yeah, we go every year.
I've never been.
You got to go. Do you want to come out? We'll give you a free ticket to listen to us speak.
Oh, my gosh, I'd love to.
Are you going to be in Indianapolis? Because that's where we're going to be.
Yeah. Come on.
Even better.
She won't come to the cornfields. Anyway, Bonnie, each week when we have a great guest on like you, and we love you to death, we ask if they have anything special, because we're putting together this whole collage for the people at the fan base over at Comic-Con, and we're going to play clips of our favorite guest, which certainly you are one. And do you have anything behind the scenes, any embarrassing or funny moments you could tell that nobody else, that you've told no one else, exclusive for us at the Shadow Nation, since you love us so much?
Ooh, let's see.
One thing. And make it
Other
good.
than the 2 times I tripped and fell on my face, there was the one time that I came out of the TV and totally stepped on the inside of my dress and walked up the inside of it and wound up on my head.
So what's the
totally happened. I hope no one was rolling. My favorite was still, we had a lightning bolt hit the generators. Lights go out. Alarms are going off. AD's yelling, "All right, everyone, hold still. It's very dangerous. We've got a hot set. We don't know what's going on. Wait for the lights to come back up." And I started sneaking up behind different actors. Oh my gosh, get away from me.
Yeah.
I'm grabbing hair, I'm grabbing ankles, I'm fluttering things, and I go up behind the director and go, "Honey, Bonnie, I cannot do this." I'm not telling you that. Bonnie, hold still. She's still moving. I got tattled on like crazy. It was amazing. I consider that that my mic drop moment.
Oh, yeah. 7 days. No, that's awesome. But, Bonnie, you're amazing at everything you do. We support you. We love you. We hope you come back on in the future because you do so many great things. Nathan?
I've got 2 quick things I want to ask you, Bonnie, because just doing my research on you, I wanted to get these out there. One, you worked on Golden Army, the Hellboy Golden Army. And
I did.
Oh, yeah.
Doug Jones is a big friend of the show. He comes on all the time.
Del Toro, Nate, just said they're not going to come out with another one, man. That's a bummer. That's a bummer.
That's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But every time Doug comes on, he yells at us and tells us not to call him a contortionist.
Does he now?
Yes, he says, I am not a contortionist. I am an actor who can bend.
Yeah.
Doug is bendier than the average bear.
Yeah.
I'll say that, but I don't know that he's necessarily dislocated. You need to know this, too. I've known Doug since I was 11.
So he's
I did a commercial with him when we were both contortionists.
Wow.
He would fervently deny it, but I was 11 the first time I met him, and he has been like family ever since.
We went to the same college. His mother and everybody's here in Indianapolis. I didn't know that.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, man.
Was he so tall then too?
I never got to see him. You guys are a little older than me, just a little, and you graduated before me. But no, Doug, yeah, we had Doug on, and like Nathan was saying, we didn't even know it. We fell first. I seen him from Hocus Pocus. Fell in love with Billy Butcherson, his zombie role.
Oh my gosh, this is funny. I did a Raisin Bran commercial with Sean Murray, who was the human embodiment of Thackeray Binks.
Oh my God, that's right. Wow.
And he and my sister became really good friends and still are to this day, so I have all these weird connections to Hocus Pocus and Doug like that.
Well, if you could ever get a hold of Omri, because I heard he went back to Israel or something. He was being a hairstylist. I was trying to get him on, but he disappears. Omri Katz. I don't know. Yeah. Did you ever see him around anymore?
Gosh, not a long time.
He took off, man. That's a lot of the child actors just cut and run. That's wild.
Fell off the planet.
I know it.
Quite literally.
Somebody fell onto a good one.
I know, but Bonnie's still here. We love her.
My last question I got to ask you here is when you were working on Devil Inside.
Yes.
You said you researched all the classics, The Exorcist, the Exorcism of Emily Rose, to get those feelings down. Did you ever research any stories of like real demonic stories about?
Of course, there are recordings of Annalise Michel.
Oh yeah.
The young woman that the Exorcism of Emily Rose was.
And scarily, I have gotten to hear them, so they are.
Yeah, that kind of keeps you up. And there's a strange one called Rubber Johnny. It's not possession. It's a very strange. What's it called? Night vision, and it's this very strange.
Like sleep paralysis.
Who's that?
I don't know.
And then the version that I saw, it's very creepy. It's really wonderful. The timing on it is excellent. And then the version I saw turned into like almost a rave music video. It's like unsa, 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 which kind of killed the creep factor for me. But these were a lot of things that, and of course, Brent Bell, the director, and Morris Paulson, they all had things that they wanted to encompass. So they were sending me all the YouTube footage and all the things that they had seen that they found creepy that they wanted to bring into it slightly. And then I had my own ideas. There was a point I had oatmeal with maple syrup standing by because I really wanted to throw up on Simon. And I didn't want him to know about it. So I was full-on prepared to get a cheek full squirrel style, get it nice and warm, waiting for Q, and just vomit on him to see what would happen. And the guys just kind of looked at me. They're like, "That's going really far." Like, I'm willing. They're like, "Well, yeah, we might want to keep this a little more civilized than that." Like, oh, sorry, I just.
Did you know who you hired for this?
And a bunch of it. That scene with Rosa was a very small scene in the movie. After they hired me, they were like, "Oh, you can do a lot. You've got ideas. Let's see where this goes." And some of the we were in Romania. We were filming. It was the dead of December. We were totally hotel bound. So we'd sit around and talk about horror movies and different ideas, and I'd come up with pieces of dialogue that made it in, and the three guys would just look at me. What? Like, that might affect our rating. It's like, oh, come on, you're going for an R rating, right? Like, yeah, we just don't know if we can have you say that. It's like, how am I the dirtiest guy in the room?
Yeah, well, look what Linda Blair did when she was, 14, 13? Come on.
She was so good.
She was awesome.
She was so good.
It's a legend.
Any of the research keep you up at night when you were looking into this stuff, especially hearing those recordings of the actual exorcisms?
Oh, yeah.
I just say my prayers before I close my eyes and believe that things will be all right.
Well, in close, before we go, Bond, Nathan and I, our television show was about that. Was about ghosts, and actually that's how we got in the radio. Because when we got out of college, we both grew up in haunted places, and when I went to college, I started dealing with a professor that did electronic voice phenomena, and I didn't believe in it, and he said, well, come with me, so I experienced it. Have you ever experienced anything really extremely creepy, especially in the creepy world of carnies and... No, I'm kidding. Have you ever had any...
All pins and needles and hearing things outside my door, but nothing's ever made it in.
Nothing's ever made it in. Okay. Well, do you believe in ghosts and stuff?
I believe that there is far more than meets the eye.
Ah, Transformers. I believe in them, too. Really?
I believe that at night my yellow smart car turns into a bug and feeds on smaller vehicles.
That's awesome, Bonnie. You got anything else for Bonnie, Nate?
That would be really clean fuel there.
That would be changing.
No, well, geez, what don't I have for Bonnie here? But most of them would keep us up for the rest of the evening. And as much as I'd like to say, I kept Bonnie up all night.
I'll flatter it if you say it.
She's definitely coming back on now, Nate. Appreciate it. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, we just locked in our future with Bonnie Morgan, everybody. No, but Bonnie, we're going to ask you to hang on the line 1 second while we pay the bills. Is that okay, dear?
I'll hang out with you for a minute.
You're awesome.
I hope you have good hold music.
You rock. No hold music. You just get to listen to us. Yeah. Yeah. Nathan, what do you say we pay the bills?
If we've got to pay them bills, let's pay them now.
Uh-oh, Nathan, you hear the music, pal.
Oh, no, not now.
It's that
We're
time
having
again.
so much fun.
What a great interview, huh?
That was awesome.
Bonnie Morgan, guys, from all the movies. Rings 2, Rings, and so much more. Miss Bonnie Morgan. Special thanks to all our homes, all our sponsors, Stitcher Smart Radio, Planet Paranormal, and, of course, Spreaker. The world's listening. How about you? Check them out at Spreaker.com, Attentive Home Healthcare, AttentiveHAC.com, and the SWL Project. Give, share. Everybody needs, Nathan.
A little love.
From the spooky back roads of America, this has been another exclusive Shadow Nation interview. Don't go changing America. You know we won't. Demon Hunter.
Because we love you.
Night, guys.